Greetings, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the P.E.A.C.E Institute's Words of Inspiration. I am your brother, Dr. Naquan A.H. Muhammad, and today's words of inspiration is the word influence. Now, there's an old cliche that says that if you are not the influential, then you are the influence. Webster's New World Thesaurus defines the word influence to mean to sway, affect, impress, to be influential, to influence or to have influence over others, lead to believe, bring pressure to bear, to seduce, to talk one into, to alter, change, act upon, to brainwash, to direct, to modify, to regulate, to compel, to urge, to incite, to change, to mold, to shape, to carry, or to lead by the nose. As we can see, the word influence simply means one having the power to sway, to affect, to impress, to lead, to believe, to train, to form, to shape, to mold, compel, convince, motivate, seduce, talk others into, control, determine, to alter or to change another person or person's thinking. When thinking of the word influence and these definitions, a question comes to mind, a question I want all of us to ask ourselves. And that question is, what or who influences us? And how has that influence affected, swayed, led us to believe, impress, form, shape, mold, compel, convince, seduced, or change, or altered our thinking? In essence, the question that we should ask ourselves is, who has power and control over our thoughts and actions? Now, once you answer that question, then you'd have to ask yourself another question. That question is, if any, then who do I influence? Who do I affect? Who can I sway? Who can I lead to believe? Who do I impress? Who do I form, shape, mold, compel, convince, seduce, change, or alter their thinking and their actions? Now, when we asked ourselves these basic questions, the very first arrogant answer that most of us will come up with is that I influence myself. Well, do we really? Let's you and I do a small exercise. What I would like for us to do is to take a pen and a pad, and let's write down a few questions and then write down the answers to those questions. The first question is, do you believe in a higher power? If the answer is no, then the answer is no. If the answer is yes, then ask yourself, did I come up with the belief that I have in this higher power from my own creative thought? And if you did not, then where and who gave you the knowledge and information about this higher power? Where does that source of information come from? Second question, who educated you? If the answer is, I educated myself, then you must have created the institution of thought that you have, and all of the information that governs that institution of thought, which means that everything you know about history, politics, religion, and economics, and social behaviors, you came up with that information from your own creative thought. If you did not, then answer who educated you. What institution? Where is that institution? And where is the wealth of knowledge that that institution used in order to educate you on those subjects? Third question. Where does your economics come from? Where does your finances come from? And did you create your financial stability? Where do you get your monies from? Is that place a place that you created with your own creative thought? If the answer is no, then where do you get your finances from? And who gives you those finances? Once we have answered these questions, we will come to a realistic conclusion about who and what really influences our thoughts and our actions. Next week, I will give you some of the answers that I came with to those questions. And then I will be able to articulate who really and truly influences my life. And then we will go into briefly, who do we, if anybody, influence? A question very important to those of us that are parents, because many of us are parents. We hope and pray that we are the major influence over our children's lives. This exercise will help us to see if we are, and if we are not, how can we change that reality? Once again, until next time, I am your brother, Dr. Naquan A.H. Muhammad. Remember, brothers and sisters, that the race is not to the swift, but to those who can endure to the end. And remember that quitters never win, and winners never quit. Remember that self-development is the base for community development. Thank you, and peace be unto you.